Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. This is my first ever voiceover, so bear with me. It's also my first ever process video. So I'm starting out by just cutting my pictures into 3x4s. I print these out with the Collect app, and it provides the date, and you can put in a short amount of journaling is what I was trying to think of. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that throughout the entire year. Hopefully this will be my first year actually completing Project Life, if I do complete it. Okay, so next I am going to lay out all my cards and just kind of decide where I want them to go and how I want them to lay out. And honestly, I was trying to figure out how to video this whole process video. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. You're going to see me move them up so that I can get them all into the frame for you guys. Okay, so I am going to be using parts of an Ellie Studio kit that I had left over. I'm also using the actual cards, or just some Paper Studio ones. And I'm going to be using these Freckled Fawn Alphas for my title card. So I'm going to start out by just fussy cutting this gold camera out from the Paper Studio card. I want to mention that I have not crafted or paper crafted since last December daily. So I'm a little rusty, and this is just kind of a video helping me to jump back into things. I didn't use a whole lot of embellishments, and I didn't use a whole lot of stamping or alphas or anything like that. I tried to make it easy on myself by just sticking with a certain amount of things and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to use, and let me go from here. So I'm going to take some 3M double-sided tape and pop that up a little bit so that it just kind of adds some dimension to this title card, adds a little element of interest. So I am just sticking that down. I'm going to use these Freckled Fawn Puffy Alphas just to write out week 1. And you're going to see that I actually try to, let's see, I don't even really check. So if you're a type A type of person, I am not. I don't check to see if things are going to fit. I just kind of roll with it. And sometimes, if you want the process to be a little bit easier, you can just kind of go with the flow and see what ends up happening. You don't have to be so particular. If you see, I was going to put an exclamation point and I decided, nah, I didn't want it to be under the camera. So next I am going to my embellishments. I knew I wanted to use one of these arrows, so I just kind of picked my favorite one. And then I think, yes, I wanted to put a star in the camera. Originally I was going to put a blue one. Then I decided that this small black one would fit best. So I believe I wanted to add just one more little element, and I'm going to grab this tag from the Ellie Studio embellishments, and I'm just going to pop it behind the camera. I believe it says, I'm not too sure what it even says, but yeah. You can see that it kind of takes me long. Throughout this whole video, you're going to notice that it takes me a really long time to go through these embellishments because I haven't crafted in so long. Honestly, I don't even know what I have. So a lot of the process this time around was just kind of looking through everything I have and deciding what it is I wanted to do. I'm going to mount these two 3x4 cards onto just an all white 4x6. This is just going to help them stay in place inside of the 4x6 pocket. So next up is this card of James and I. It's a throwback. I am going to be using some throwback pictures because I'm not too sure how many pictures I will be having this year. But I'm just choosing this large Love You puffy stickers. I really love that. And I love the way that card turned out on top of the gold heart. I thought about adding that little sweetheart at the bottom, but I wanted to keep it a little bit simple this week. Next up, I am just adding a tag that's going to pop up with my tiny attacher. I hadn't used this in so long, and actually the staple didn't go all the way through, so I just had to bend that back with my scissors real quick. And then I realized throughout the video that I just needed to press a little bit harder. But I'm going to add that to a picture of my meal prep for the week. This was my first day back to work, and I took water and coffee and packed a small lunch, so I was pretty proud of myself. I added, I think it says determined. It's a tiny word sticker from Tim Holtz, and that's just kind of setting the tone for my year. I'm determined to have a better year and set myself up for success. This next picture is a picture of my daughter reading. She's been struggling a little bit with her reading, so we're just working on that. And I wanted to add this little heart, but then I thought it might be too much white. So I go ahead and go with a pink heart. And because I decided to, in the end, you'll see that I decided to add that to the top. I go ahead and shift that card over so that it is on the opposite side of the other one that is sticking out of the top as well. Again, tiny attacher is life. I love my tiny attacher. And see here, I struggle again with the staple, but in the end, I end up getting it. And what's funny is you'll notice at the very, very end, I end up running out of staples, so I ended up having to stop using that. I'm going to move on to this picture from my desk at work of my iced coffee. The caption just reads that I'm so thankful for it, and I was able to use this 3x4 card of a coffee cup, which I thought was so cute. So I took this acrylic heart and just ended up setting that right in the center of the coffee cup. I love the pop of white that adds. I'm going to go ahead and add another tiny word sticker, and it took me a while to decide what I was going to write, but I ended up writing help me, which I thought was so funny because, you know, when you're working, it's like you need your coffee, like, please help me get through all of this. So that I thought that was pretty cute. I'm going to go ahead and attach these bottom cards to a white 4x6, and that is a picture of me at work on Friday. And then the super cute Be Bold 3x4 card. Again, cutting off the excess of the white that sticks over. And I'm going to go through my embellishments. I was going to use that arrow, but I didn't really like the way that looked. So I ended up just adding some stars, a little cluster of stars here at the bottom, just to spice it up a bit. But like I said, I'm really not over embellishing this week. I think as time goes on and I just kind of get my groove back, I will be into more embellishments, or maybe not. Maybe I do like not having a whole lot. It was actually a really fun process for me. I couldn't believe how quick I got through this and how easy it was. Even just right now doing this voiceover and all that, it makes you realize that if you're thinking you may want to do, process videos or anything like that, go for it. It's actually easier than it looks. So I'm going through embellishments once again. I was going to use this tag, and then I decided to use this one with the hearts. It took me a while to decide what I was going to write, but I ended up just getting these Freckle Fawn stickers and writing the word yum with an exclamation point. And you'll notice that at the end of this, or a little bit further down in this video, I realized that those quote-unquote exclamation points were actually the letter I. So I ended up wasting, I think, like 2 I's on this layout. But hey, I'm in the mood to just use up my embellishments. I'm not hoarding anything. So I have these 4 pictures, each of my children, and this was at our Three Kings night. We do celebrate every year just for fun, the night that the Three Kings brought gifts to the baby Jesus, and we cut into a cake called a Rosca de Reyes, or a king's cake. And in each piece of cake, or not in each piece of cake, but as you cut the cake, you're hoping that you get a small plastic baby Jesus. And my mom actually ended up adding other quote-unquote prizes into the cake. So it was really fun this year. I believe like some of my kids got some dollars, or wrapped in foil. I think my oldest son ended up getting a $5 bill. So we had a lot of fun with that. You can actually see that on our family vlog, which I posted sometime last week. So I just ended up adding clusters of stars that kind of went from the first card all the way to the 4th card. This bottom card that I'm working on is a picture of another throwback of my dad and the boys at a Three Kings party a couple years back. So I'm just going to take this XO tag and I'm going to put some twine through it. I do the knot at the bottom and then I knot the top and cut it off because I know that that type of baker's twine actually frails pretty easily. So that's why I added the knot at the top. I'm looking for that little round white heart, round circle, white circle with the pink heart in it. I'm going to add that as well. So I just glue down or use my tape runner to put down that XO tag. I'm going to tape the top of the twine so that it stays down. And then I'm going to use my tiny attacher to attach this little circle heart. And that card is done. Next up is a card of what is that? Oh, that is the Keurig that my cousin gifted me for my birthday. She had it in her old classroom and wasn't going to use it anymore. And our Keurig was really dated, so we got an upgrade and I was super excited about that. So I'm just trying to figure out what it is I want to do. I ended up picking this black tag, and if you notice, I did not even check to see if it worked there. I'm just the type, if I see it, I think it's gonna work, boom, add the tape and glue it down. I'm going to be adding these two hearts with my, oh no, actually I was trying to write the word yay, Y-A-Y, but I didn't have enough letters, so I was thinking about, what else can I write? I think I ended up with just yes with an exclamation point, aka an I. So I add yes, and then I'm going to add two small hearts at the bottom with my tiny attacher. Still haven't run out of staples, but I believe this is the moment I do run out of staples, and I had already kind of made the mark into that bottom heart. So I'm going to get a tiny word and just stick it right over that so that you don't see the indentation from the stapler. I believe that tiny word is the word wonderful. So that is done. Moving on to our last two cards. This is a picture of all of us at a Dallas Cowboys watch party. We are huge Dallas Cowboys fans, and we had all of our friends and family over last Sunday to watch the game. They ended up winning, so I put this tag. I was going to tiny attach it, and then I realized I was out of staples. So I just go ahead and tape that on there. It says, yes, you can. Then I'm going to use the freckled font. This is when I realized that the exclamation points were actually eyes. So I just put, yes, you can win. And then I believe I put an arrow. This was not my most favoriteest card. But, you know, in every group, you can't love them all. So this other side says, oh, happy day. And it's a picture of my husband giving my grandmother a big old hug after the Cowboys won. And it says, I believe this tag says, this picture is worth 1,000 words. And I know that this card was super wordy, but I figured that it expressed our true feelings of just how excited we were for the day and how happy we were that the Cowboys were moving on. That is it for this week's layout. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really had fun with this, and I'm excited to continue on throughout the year. I think it came out really cute, especially considering I have not crafted in so long. I think it just reminds you that you don't need a whole lot of stuff, and you can get stuff here local or wherever it is that you are and just go and do what you want to do. So thanks. See you guys next week. Bye.